Hello everybody, I'm very glad to see you on my channel today. Thank you for coming over to spend the day with me. And this is a pretty casual day. We've been very busy for about a week and we've been out of the house most of the days, but still coming home to like eat and sleep. And today I woke up, I have the first day, I don't have any arrangements in the city. I can just be in my home. I see that it's a big mess right now because we've been busy the whole week. I haven't been cleaning anything. I haven't been taking care of my home. Everything is everywhere, sometimes it happens after trips, or for us it's usually in busy days when I don't have time or just kind of personal resources to organize and clean everything as we go, so it kind of piles up. And today's the day when I see that everything piled up in every room, all the things are everywhere, and like the laundry, the dishes are insane in the sink, the kitchen situation, the bedrooms, like everything needs to be taken care of. And in general it feels like our home is in need of some love and care from me, and that I have to just organize things and pay attention to what is happening in our home. And I decided to film how I'm just walking here and taking care of our home, giving it some love, because recently one of my friends said she's watching my videos, and I always love when friends are watching my videos because I never expect it to happen. But she told me like, Vika, I just like your videos so much. And then she said one phrase that was kind of, oh, I didn't think about that. She said, your home seems to always be so nice and peaceful and kind of clean and organized. And I was like, wait a minute, I have 3 kids, I live in a small apartment, most of the time it's a mess. And she was like, well, in your videos, most of the time it's kind of nice. And I was like, well, you just haven't seen it after busy days. So today I decided to film it after busy days, just for you to kind of see that, yeah, I have a lot of things to take care of, and I feel like you can, have some motivation, inspiration to take care of your home today. Maybe clean something that was waiting for attention for a while. There are always these little corners of the house that are neglected and put away. For me today, it's basically the whole apartment. So thank you for coming over to spend the time with me. I started filming quite late today, so it's already time for the kids to go to sleep. We had breakfast and we had some morning time activities, and now it's just a nap time. Her Highness Princess Rapunzel is not very happy about it, but I'm her mom, so she has to accept the situation and just lay in bed. I have some time to take care of the living room and the kitchen, because while the kids are sleeping, I can't really take care of their bedrooms, or I can't bring anything to their bedrooms. So I just take a big bin and put all the toys that are supposed to be in the kids' room in that bin. And I also make random piles of things that go either in the clothes storage or in our bedroom, and I'll put these things away as soon as the kids get up and I can bring these things in their room. I don't want to do it right now because I'll wake them up, or even if I don't wake them up, I don't want to risk it. It's better for them to have a good nap and for me to just take care of things that are in different rooms. So this winter, I felt like I have more personal resources to take care of our like garbage situation. I've always wanted to get to the recycling center and bring some, like paper, plastic bottles, glass stuff, just the basic recycling materials to them. And I finally started collecting them this winter. So I've been ripping apart cardboard boxes and putting away kids' crafts and just random everything paper, and all the plastic bottles and glass bottles I decided to store on our balcony. I didn't actually think how much space it would take, but because I'm lazy to go regularly to the recycling center, they kind of pile up. So we have 3 bags of plastic bottles on our balcony already and 1 big bag of like glass bottles. I reuse some glass bottles for the storage just in my kitchen and for vases for flowers, but I don't need that many, so I put them away for the recycling center. Usually, like, I don't know where you live. I know in Europe recycling is quite common and it's easy to do that because there are all kinds of bins in many places. There are a lot of places you can bring your stuff to, and it's kind of required even in some places. But here in Georgia where we live, nobody recycles anything. Like, there are basically no places where you can bring stuff for recycling. The only place I found was a volunteer project from expat community. Some people who are used to recycling things in their own countries, they came to Georgia and they built that volunteer project, and then I think they kind of transfer all of that in big amounts to the places where recycling can happen. I don't even know if these things end up in a proper place. I hope so, because these volunteer guys seems to be very kind of reliable and very passionate about what they're doing. But I know it doesn't make much difference here in Georgia because it's just, I don't know, a tiny community who does this, and the rest of the country, they just don't have any places to bring recycling stuff, or it's not a cultural thing and it just doesn't happen here. But for myself, I know I always wanted to do that, and I know I always wanted to be more intentional with everything that comes in the house and comes out of the house. So I'm quite good with everything that comes in the house, but when it comes to like garbage and sorting stuff, I've never took enough care of it. And we have a family of 5, so we go through a lot of things during the week. So for just personal habits, I thought that would be cool to kind of start trying, even if we move to Europe one day or to another place where they have a more organized and common recycling culture. That would be a plus for me to already be used to that and already know how to do that. And just, as a little hobby, that's a weird hobby to have, but I kind of enjoy seeing that not everything that we use goes into trash. I've always been kind of careful with things that can be reused. I've tried to not throw away things that were in more or less good condition, but find a new home for them, bring them to the refugee center, or donate them through Facebook Marketplace, or give them away to somebody if I know people who might be interested. But when it comes to like actual garbage, I didn't really know what to do with it, especially because it's not common here to do any recycling or anything like that. So, as I said, the dishes situation was pretty bad. We don't have a dishwasher, so I feel like dishes are always in the sink because, as I said, we have 3 children, we're a family of 5, and after every breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, there is a ton of dishes in the sink and everything piles up, and all day long there's some kind of dishes in the sink that needs to be washed, and sometimes I'm just like ignoring them and wash them all in the evening. But in this case, we've been busy for several days, so so we've been just washing what we needed right away, and then everything else was piling up. There's a reason why I don't have many dishes. That's because if we had many dishes, we would procrastinate washing the dishes and just take the clean ones, and then the pile would be absolutely insane. So we actually have the exact number of plates of each kind for our family, or even less. So we have 4 bowl kind of plates for soup, we have 4 flat plates, several like small plates that can be used for snacks or desserts or something like that, just a couple of mugs, several glasses for all the family. And because of that, we are kind of forced to wash the dishes every time we have lunch or breakfast or dinner coming. That kind of helps with keeping the dishes from piling up, but sometimes they just all end up in the sink. Like, we use everything that we have. I store some plates for guests in the other cabinet. These are landlord's plates, but we never touch them when we're just by ourselves at home. If you've been wondering what I'm doing with the stove, I just use baking soda and hot water for cleaning the stove. I've noticed that it always works fine, and I don't really like to use harsh chemicals in my home and have different kinds of cleaning products. I mostly use baking soda and dish soap for everything except for more strong chemical for the toilet and a strong chemical for the mold if the mold comes out of somewhere. But other than that, for all the surfaces, for bathroom, kitchen, everything, I just use soda and dish soap. And even for windows and mirrors, I just use water and then wipe them with a dry towel, and it's clean and perfectly fine. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of like cleaning products and stuff. So that's why I've been just using baking soda for the sink and for the stove. Kind of used to do it like that. So as you can see, I have random spots in the apartment where I store some of the garbage. I have a bag of plastic in the kitchen in one of the cabinets, and I have one bag with papers in our bedroom. I actually need to bring them all to the recycling center, but for now I've been just kind of collecting it. I also thought that I've never told why we have these chairs standing in our bedroom, and I thought if you're watching it for the first time, you've been probably wondering like what is going on here, like why are all of these chairs in our bedroom, why they're all covered. Like there's so many questions probably. So these are landlord's chair, is in most post-Soviet countries where rent apartment fully furnished. Pretty often landlords have a lot of furniture which we don't need. We can't get rid of it, and there is a 90% chance every time that even if you ask the landlord to take away something, they would not do that because they live in the apartment themselves and they don't have any space to store these things. So, for example, here I asked the landlord to take away some of the small furniture pieces and their decor. They had a lot of decor here, and the TV in the living room because we never watch it and I don't like having it on the wall. But they didn't take any of these, so I just store all the decor that I found here and some other things in one hidden storage here in the apartment. Here is like one very small closet and it's full with the landlord stuff. And these chairs are also from the table that is in our living room. And since we have kids chairs that are like high chairs, we don't have any place to put these chairs, and there is no other place in the apartment that could be convenient to store them. So I just put them here because this is the room we use less than other rooms. This is also the space that we don't walk that much, so I just put them here and they're standing here. And I kind of covered them to protect from our cats and also to kind of make them seem as a one piece. It doesn't help that much, but like I'm trying my best, you know. I was thinking maybe if I cover it, it would look like a sofa in the corner or something like that. But it just looks like a bunch of chairs covered. So yeah, that's why they're standing here. That's basically the only reason, because I can't get rid of them. This little dresser in the corner also needs some of my attention and some love. I have a bunch of creams standing here, mostly for my toddler. He has some skin issues. So I have a lot of creams that we occasionally need, and I just store them on the dresser. And there is also a lot of random stuff in the corner on the dresser. This is the spot that I usually use for things that I want to sell or give away to somebody that needs some time for me to find the person who wants to buy them or who wants to take them. So this is like the decluttering pile. I also put things that I need to give away in the corridor, on our dresser in the corridor, but these are things that I need to give away somewhere this week or like this day, that I need to take when we're leaving the house to drop at a friend's house, urgent, as soon as possible, or very soon type of decluttering thing that I put in the dresser in the corridor. But this pile on the dresser in the bedroom is more like waiting for its time, so that's why it's here. We also bought a new stroller for our toddler, and usually our stroller is stored in the tank of our car because we mostly use it when we go for a walk, so we just take it out of the car and we don't store it in the apartment. But this one is new, so I just opened it and I need my husband to take it down to put in the car. This is our main space for storing clothes, but also this is kind of everything storing place. We don't have almost any storage in the rest of the apartment except for 2 dressers. So we keep here like bed sheets and a lot of toilet paper and diapers and the kids' clothes and a lot of my husband's books because again we don't have a bookshelf anywhere. I really wanted to have a bookshelf in the living room because we have a lot of books for my husband and for the kids. But if we place a bookshelf in the living room, we'll have to screw the holes in the wall to secure this bookshelf because we have a small kid that climbs literally everywhere and we can't screw any significant holes in the walls there in the living room because it's a rental. So we just gave up this idea and we store our books in the storage and in our kids' bedroom. And when we need these books, we just take them and read them anywhere we want to, but this is like their main space for storing them. And this room also needs some deep care, and there are some shelves that I've been procrastinating to go through and reorganize or declutter, but I'm not going to do that now. I'll probably do it a little bit later during my spring reset. I've already took out all the summer and spring clothes for the kids because we had a couple of warm days and I was so excited. I was like, I am taking all the warm clothes out. I donated some clothes that I realized don't fit anymore, so I kind of already went through that part of like spring reset. But after these warm days went cold days again, so I didn't place these warm clothes anywhere. I just took them out, I tried them on the kids, I saw what fits and what doesn't fit, and then I just left them in a bag in the corner of our closet because I realized that it's still not that warm to take them completely out and put away winter stuff. So I'm still waiting for actually warm days to come and already be like stable to put away all the jackets and to put away winter shoes and to put away like winter pants and stuff like that, and to hang all the nice flowy dresses for my girls. So these clothes are waiting in the corner, already sorted through but still waiting for their time. I feel like today was quite productive. I freshened up the whole apartment in terms of all the like mess and clutter that was everywhere, and after vacuuming it actually feels really nice and clean, but I still have to mop all the floors and I still have to clean the bathroom, but I prefer doing it when the kids are sleeping. For now, while the kids are still awake, I feel like I did everything I planned to do. So yeah, thank you guys very much for staying here, for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!